Good morning and happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Life Show, where I, Sunitha, along with my co-host Tracy, we hop on every Friday at 9 a.m. to chat about everything North Fork. And I paused at welcome back because we've been doing the show 2 years, as many of you know, and we just celebrated our anniversary. But this is the very first show that we are doing from the NOFO Live account. So I'm hoping I'm logged into the right account, and everybody that follows me at the NOFO Style account knows to come check us out at this account, because apparently it's a thing now. The NOFO Live account is an actual thing, and I feel like it's time to sort of run the show officially from here. I end up talking about while I'm waiting for her. And it is a beautiful day on the North Fork. It is a little chilly. It's a little cool. I know I decided to wear sleeveless, but I feel like I need a sweater or something if I step outside. Good morning. Are you feeling any more
Good morning.
official that we're in an official NOFO Live account? Oh, you've got them.
I mean, I'm wearing our NOFO Live hat. Wait, I should turn it around and show everybody.
You're representing the merch. It's so weird. It feels, I mean, obviously we've been doing the show for 2 years, as I was saying, but it all just feels new to me today. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? How am I doing it? What's going on?
Yeah, I know. Well, as you can see, I also changed location, which this is the, for people who follow me, that you know that I converted my garage into my office. We call it the Beach Barn. And everybody's been dying to see what it looks like, except life is just life, and it never looks pretty. But I've been wanting to do the show from out here.
To you, because you want it to be perfect. I walked in there, it looks pretty.
Well, yeah, and there's like life is happening in it, right? So it's not perfectly staged.
Like the show, you mean? Because there's no part, there's no equipment.
Oh.
There's no.
Yes. But honestly, more so, my babysitter comes at 9. So just for people to know how real this is, I literally am running from the house to this set at 9 exactly.
Like today it feels like, are we on the set? So. What are we doing? And I'm obviously loving the sign in the back of you, but I'm wondering if we are not Instagram savvy enough to realize that our sign should have been reversed. So
I realized it. I did realize it as soon as I turned on the camera, and I was like,
well, that's too late.
We're gonna have to make
to realize it.
backwards.
Even me, I realized it when I turned on the camera. So just people, so you.
Well, let's tell everybody why we made the signs, because we didn't make the signs for this. We made them for something else. What did we make them for? Okay, we made them for, we had an anniversary party 2 nights ago, Wednesday night, on the 17th, to celebrate 2 years of NOFO Live, which is honestly shocking to me. I can't even believe that we've been doing 2 years.
May 21st exactly was our first show, but we didn't have it. We didn't have
today's
because it was you, me, and our first co-host Lauren. We just hopped on and started talking,
right? And
we figured we'll just go every week and see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been going. We've really, I mean, I know we're still, as we just said, very fly by the seat of our pants and unscripted and unedited.
If it ain't broken.
But
if it ain't
we have come a long way.
Don't fix it, because we've over the years and brainstormed with the two of us and the co-hosts we've had and thought about, do we want to make it more, I don't know if the word is bigger or polished, and we've always come back to, we enjoy this and it works for us. And my life philosophy is, if it works for me, I'm going with it. If whoever enjoys it, come along. If you don't, then
I know. So many times over the last 2 years, I've thought to myself, should we go to like a physical studio where we're together and then the host, and then I think about what my actual life is, and I'm like,
but also then take it a step further, think about the guest life, right? Everybody we have on the show is running a business. They're doing something. Now they too have to take time out of what they're doing, perhaps feel like they have to get dressed up, come to this place and sit, which does have its own space and value. But for what we're doing, I love the real, the sign is backwards. You're in your beach barn. You think it's messy, but it's a beach barn. Hello, people. You know? So yeah, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
back to the party. I see Susie was one of the guests and
So
she's already commenting about how
yeah, Susie was
mesmerizing. I
there.
missed what she said. Scroll.
Amazing.
Okay, because it's
She said
scrolled too fast.
amazing.
Which
Yes, it was amazing. We were at the Halyard at the Soundview in Greenport, and it was the perfect setting for us because the water and the sun glistening off the water, and it was just, everybody was so delighted to be there. And we had quite a few people
well,
who
yeah,
came. I mean, we invited all
that's
of our
how it
past
started. I mean,
guests
we
to
wanted
come.
to invite over the 2 years.
Right.
We met a lot of the guests in person, obviously, but some of them, or I just say just a few, we've only really seen on the screen because of the nature of the show. We meet people through Instagram, and it's great. We message and we talk, but we don't really get a chance to take that moment in person, and and say how are you and what's going on and catch up. So
Yeah.
the idea for the party really brewed on how do we connect in person with our guests and how do we connect them with each other, because everybody's busy running their business and don't necessarily have the time to kind of chill and just take a breather without without having to do anything.
Well,
Yeah,
and
yes,
especially
yes,
with each other.
yes.
That's the key. That's the key word. Yeah, which really was the basis for this show in the beginning. I mean, you came to me and said, "What can we do? Let's do something." And I said, "Let's invite people from the North Fork. We get a chance to meet them, which is what we had ultimately wanted to, was to like grow our own community. And we get a chance to use whatever social influence we have to bring eyeballs to their business, their passion, whatever it is." And it's not always a business. Sometimes it's someone who's just, our very first guest who was at the party last night, Rachel Krupski. She was, is a mom blogger, and we had her on, and it's just, we've had artists, we've had clammers,
Residents. You don't technically need to have a
fishermen,
business
yeah.
to come on the show to chat with us. Really.
You just have to have,
I mean,
something to talk
I think
about.
we
That's
have that
really
covered.
right? Well, but we really do provide, everyone who comes on the show, we do have some formality of what we do. Everyone who comes on the show gets sent an info sheet so they can know what to expect about the show. And what we explain in there is, we'll introduce ourselves, we'll talk about the weather, and then we're going to kind of throw it to you and whatever you as the guest want to focus on about your business. Because again, the primary purpose of the show for us was to allow these people to have a larger audience that they may not have gotten to before, to talk about what they're doing, whether that's a business or where their passion or whatever. And then we just close the show with our NOFO Live 5, where we kind of tie it back to the North Fork, and everybody gets asked the same 5 questions, and it's rapid fire. And really that's the formality. But the person who's on the show, which I think is what, in my opinion, makes it interesting, is that every show is a little bit different.
Not just a little bit, very different.
The
well, I was going to say, in
yes.
terms of rules of the show, the structure of the show, there's really just one rule/structure, which is it's about the North Fork. So if you have any connection to the North Fork, right? However you are connected to it and what your love for it, we're happy to talk about it, because there's so much we can learn and know. And even the Rapid Fire Live 5, NOFO Live 5, kind of are.
See, it is hard to say.
Oh, see? I want you to start the show and tell me what you talk about.
I know.
I know. Organically, again, because it started out with you, me, and Lauren all wanting to know more about the North Fork. So it was like, which farm stand do you go to?
Yeah.
And it's genuinely not about favorites, because there isn't such a thing. Sometimes it's because of convenience. The store closest to me is what I go to, right? But because it's convenient to you, I may have never been there. And so when we ask that question of which one do you frequent or what do you like to eat, is because we want to know so we can go check it out and we can enjoy it. And now it's just become such a wealth of information. Frankly, sometimes I rewatch the show to go see, wait, what did they say they like? Because they mentioned something that I'd never heard of or hadn't tried.
Well, we have, I'm going to put it out there. We want an intern If anyone has a college student who just came home for the summer, doesn't know what they want to do, and maybe wants to go into like social media or marketing or branding or something like that, we're looking for an intern. Because something I would really like to do, and frankly just don't have the time to do, is go back through all the shows and curate all the answers to the NOFO Live 5 and make a guide of like, you know, so and so said that they love the tomatoes at this, because that's generally like what Sunita's saying. It's not what your favorite is. It's like, oh, when I pass by this place, I've got to get their microgreens. Or when I go, and I feel like I personally have learned so much every time I pass a farm stand out east, you know, that I haven't been to, but I'm like, oh, so and so said, and, you know, I should stop in there.
And the other thing I wanted to say about what you were saying, our social media influence, I feel like the collective influence of us and every single guest that comes on, and then again the engagement of each of them with each other, is really the magic. You know, it's not that, you know, we have this giant funnel and we're reaching 1 million accounts. That's not even the goal. The goal really is the one-on-one personal connection and interaction. And one of my favorite things about the party, there were so many, and there's so many beautiful pictures. We have to talk about so much, but one of my favorite things about the party was the bingo card idea that you came up with, and to watch every guest interact with each other guest. Like if I saw somebody just, you know, standing quietly in the corner with their +1, I would immediately go over and be like, where's your bingo card? Did you fill your bingo card? So can you explain a little bit about that? Because I just loved it.
Yeah, you know, when Sunita said, let's have a party, the first thing that popped into my mind was, we're going to have a game. And I didn't know what it was. And I just kind of threw it out there, and I marinated on it for a while. And I said, let's do NOFO Live Bingo. And then together we kind of curated what exactly we wanted it to be. And it ended up to be so perfect and beyond my expectation of how many people actually participated in it. And it was find someone who, and then there were all things in the boxes that we knew someone had this in the party. Yeah.
Well, one hiccup. One.
Well,
because you
Shelter Island.
So the questions was find someone who, I think I should have one of them here because we pulled someone. It's someone who's a newlywed or someone who has been featured in the North Fork.
Wait, who's the newlywed? Who's the newlywed?
Within a year or two.
So I was like, I figured somebody lives on Shelter Island.
Newlywed to you. So I've been married almost 30 years. Somebody 5 years is a newlywed as far as I'm concerned. Christina's commenting, but it was really good. I mean, we had someone who grows their own vegetable garden, somebody who has a chicken, which obviously we know somebody in the North Fork. But I'm cracking up because one of the questions was lives in Shelter Island.
Right. Somebody who has a store on Main Road. Yeah. So, all right, fine. I added someone who lives on Shelter Island.
In a room of 100 people, yes.
Live on Shelter Island. Right. So, and listen, it just made the game more interesting because everybody went around looking for
your bingo cards were like the real ones where everybody had a different card. So not everybody had that question. And here's what's fascinating. Some people cheated. You know, they just started writing names, which is fine. Some people cheated because they got one line of bingo. Again, not cheated because we didn't really explain how the bingo works, right?
Yeah. I mean, to me,
but then some people were all in and wanted to fill every name in every square. And I just love that. They were determined. That's the people that were like, Shelter Island, I'm stuck on who lives it. And nobody wanted to fake it. That was the best part.
I know. That was the best part. I know. Well, now I feel like if we have this party again, which everybody's asking us to have it again, so we probably will. But now I'm gonna have to come up with a different game that's just as popular.
But what was really great about the game is it really got people to talk to each other and find out more about them, because it said, you know, is a farmer, is a whatever. So if I mean, obviously Ira was there and many people know he's a farmer, but he wasn't the only one. And it was kind of interesting to meet other people and you know, figure out what they do. And there were some people that were guests and viewers of the show that don't own businesses, but it was so interesting for everybody to learn something about each other.
I know. And we did, for those of you who attended, because I can see a lot of people here saying how much fun they had with the cards. Yes, we
Well, I thought
we
we
will
did it
announce the
live.
winners
I thought
today.
we just do it live, or do
We
we
needed
reach them first? I mean, we pulled the cards yesterday, so we have them. Do we want to just let's just do it live?
Right.
Okay.
If you want to announce them, go ahead.
You want
I
to
don't
talk
have
about
them
the
in front of me,
baskets real
so go
quick?
ahead.
What basket?
Okay.
So the bingo card.
Yes. Okay. So I'll announce what the gift is, and then you can
And
say
but I just also want to say one of the ways we used the bingo game was after everybody filled their bingo card, they put it in a jar, and we used all of those cards to pull winners from these 3 baskets.
Yes. Okay. So we had a basket from Nicolette's for the Home, which was donated by Amanda Giuliano, who was at the party for a short time and then had to leave, unfortunately. But it is a basket of home goods. It's got 2 mugs, it's got coasters, it's got cute little signs, a wicker frame,
we'll post
a wicker
pictures. We have some
bottle opener, which frankly, I actually need that bottle
you ready?
opener.
Who
but
won that basket? It's based on the political card. It's Candace Hall, and I believe she's from the Peconic Community School, who was there yesterday as well. So we'll email you and we'll figure out pick up and drop off arrangements. But congratulations.
Yes. Okay. So the second one is from a basket from Touch Goods, and it is the garden party, and it has all sorts of things for an outdoor.
It's like a bamboo.
Little,
I think it's a bamboo lacquer salad bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Catherine. Yes.
And then Catherine's watching.
Yes, please let her know that she won. Actually,
yes, it's a bamboo lacquer bowl, and it has
4
salad
amazing
forks,
glasses that I want. They're like floral painted.
Yes.
Please run to Touch Goods and buy those glasses. They're very cute.
Yes.
So the winner of that basket
so who's the winner of that?
Calamity Jane, and her name is Stephanie. Stephanie was there last night as well. Well, I guess everybody who filled the card was there.
Yeah.
But
Wednesday.
there were a couple
everybody was there.
Yes. There, and one of them. So yay! Congrats.
Okay. And now our third raffle item was donated by Peggy from Nuna Knits. Peggy takes old hats, vintage hats, and fixes them up and blings them and does all these cool things.
Actually, out of vintage ribbons. That one's made out of vintage ribbons and wool and fur, and I don't know. This one's not fur. Oh.
And she was wearing a fabulous fabulous.
We had so many guests that we invited over the 2 years, and we were like, we hope, obviously, we'll remember and recognize every person. But as soon as Peggy walked in and she was wearing the hat, I was like, I guess we don't have to try to figure it out because she is known as that. She's got her hat on. We love it. It was a gorgeous hat. It was gorgeous.
Yes, it was. It was. So her package comes with a vintage, I believe it's a 1950s hat, and 3 pairs of alpaca wool socks. So the winner is.
Oh my God! It's our sweet, sweet, sweet girl Verona. Oh.
Yay! And I know Verona will wear that hat.
I actually just saw Verona yesterday. I went to a grounding ceremony
how was that?
and Mridu had at Treber Farms. It was beautiful. It was just, I don't want to say magical because it was, but it was in a field and we lay in the grass on yoga mats in sound healing. It was beautiful. Anytime you see Verona and Mridu offer that class, sign up immediately. It was just exactly what I needed in terms of, I mean, it was a beautiful evening, obviously the party, but just a lot going on. And if you follow me personally, then you know I have a lot going on personally. And I just want to talk about Pepper for a quick second because Verona! There she is! Yay!
Verona, you won the hat!
Earlier this week, we sadly had to put my sweet fur baby down, and it was so difficult because he's been by my side for 14 years, every time in my feet. And it's kind of awkward even now because every time I'm doing the show, he's sitting here and I'm looking. Because he was getting restless towards the end and he needed to leave. He needed to come in. Like he didn't know where he needed to be. So now it's kind of just weird to be able to leave the door open and not have to open and close it, you know. But what I really wanted to say was, obviously I live on social media, so this is how I deal with things. So I made a post about it. But the outpouring of love that came from that post, and not just the love, but the sharing and the recognition of the common grief that we all share, or unfortunately so many of us had to share. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that commented. I mean, I'm blown way. And I'm hoping that all our collective sharing and talking and healing can happen together, and that it helps everybody, not just me, because I know personally a few.
Yeah.
I know Melissa, you probably, don't want me to bring this up, but I see Melissa, and she just had the same grief begin for her just a couple of weeks ago. And then so many others that talked about that. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's really amazing to see. And I think it is important to share about it. I mean, I am so scared about Charlie. I mean, we had a conversation, which I won't share last night, but I say to Charlie all the time, like, I'm like, you need to stay until Tilly can remember you. That is my one rule. Like, you have to stay until Tilly can remember you. And he's great right now. I mean, he is a very spry 12-year-old and jumps around.
Yeah.
But I
don't mind sharing the conversation, but I totally
really
understand.
So.
And I got to a point where I felt in my heart that I can no longer keep asking Pepper to keep hanging on for me, And that's how I think my heart knew that it was the right time, because as sad and hard as the decision was, in my gut, I knew it was right, and that he had given me way more than I can ask of him. And I was at peace with, even there's never a good day. There was not like, even if he was around another 6 months or a year, I'd feel the same on that day. So at some point, I guess I have to find the peace, and let him go. And it was peaceful but sad.
Yeah. I mean, very sad. Well, on that note, I was thinking that we should do the NOFO Live 5, because we've never.
Okay, if you want to do that, but I do want to say something first. First of all, we will make a lot of posts because we have a lot of photos, and I just want to acknowledge a few people real quick that I can even think of. One, Eduardo, for being our photographer on Wednesday, and I haven't yet processed through all the photos, just the few that I've looked at and posted. I think you did a beautiful job of capturing the vibe and capturing the evening and just going with the flow, because we had some great ideas. We'll take drone shots and sunset out on the deck, and it was just windy, but he pivoted and took some amazing pictures. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to everybody that put merch and beautiful things in our swag bags, which were, I think, another hit of the night. I mean, I feel like at some point we should be doing, it's right there. We should be doing like an unboxing and going through all the goodies that are in there. And a couple of people.
I know we should. I know everyone who I said, oh, make sure you take a bag on the way home. They were like, I'm allowed to take that?
I've actually had a couple of people message me that couldn't come at the last minute, scheduling issues, whatever, specifically mentioned to me to hold on to the bag. And then some people, because we posted some preview pictures, but some people after the party heard about the bags and wanted to know if there was still any and could they get one. And then Amanda, who, as you mentioned, left early, commented saying she forgot to, or she didn't get one because she left early. And I'm okay. I think I only have like very few left, but I will process. And if there was anybody that either purchased a ticket or had RSVP to come but couldn't, if we do have the bags, we will reach out and definitely make sure you get some. But it was so awesome of so many in the community to throw stuff in there, and I'm excited about, the wine, the all the stuff. I think we'll do an unboxing, unbagging. What would it be?
Yeah. I guess it would be an unbagging.
You want to talk about the merch?
Yeah. Sure, let's talk about the merch. I'm not taking my hat off again because now the hat head is really bad. But I can
we can talk about the fact that we have some, and then if people want to buy some, that we are going to start putting it on our Instagram. And do we have a plan?
I know. We're gonna make a plan, and when we have it, we'll let you know.
We have some hoodies, and some T-shirts. So if anybody,
we have an amazing zip up that I wear all the time. One of the things that we intentionally did, and I give Sunita credit for this, is that all of our merch is really, it says the North Fork. Like the primary thing is North Fork, and then it has the NOFO Live logo on it somewhere. But we figured that, we're all always looking for something.
So, and
right. Yeah, but we're always looking for more North
And
Fork
all the merch
stuff, so
is
it was
local.
kind of
Shout
a
out to One
perfect.
Nature Company right here in South Hole.
Yeah.
They did an incredible job of putting it together and
Yeah.
getting our branding the way we wanted it. So we can't wait to add on more stuff.
Yeah.
I think coffee mugs. I think that should be next. I mean, sure.
I mean,
Yes.
I want my tumbler. You know, I need a tumbler, and I literally just this show as I was drinking, I was like, wait, I need to just. We need one of those fancy blur out things, you know, because
Can I
this
just
is not
can I just
sponsored
say
by
something
this
about the mug? For the ones that we use on the show,
Yeah.
would we need to reverse the print so that it shows correctly on the camera? Now that we are learning from the sign,
maybe.
I think the mug that the prop for the show will have.
Let me tell you that the Today Show does not have this problem because their cameras are proper facing and they're not reverse, right? Because that's the problem. We're a reverse camera.
Kelly, and by Kelly, I don't mean the NOFO live celebrity Kelly. I mean the Kelly Ripa's number. Do you have her on your phone? Could we just call her and ask how they resolved all their show? I
actually probably do have her on my phone.
Kelly Ripa, can you hear me now?
I'm not kidding. But I'm not going to call her about that.
Oh my God. Okay, back to real life. NOFO Live 5. I'm going to do the rapid fire to you. No, I'm going to do it to you because I feel like I answered it once at some point. Okay.
Well, before we do that, though, I do want to say that the success of the show has been beyond our wildest dreams, which also means that we are booking guests all the way out to November, December. So, yeah. So if you want to be on our show and you are interested, you should really reach out because we are going to end up booking out the next full year very quickly, which is amazing. We couldn't possibly, I mean, at the beginning, we were literally like, who do we ask? Let's find people. It was all our friends.
But it was a casual talk show about talking to our friends, right? Yeah. And thank you, Tracy, for bringing that up because one of the things I want to say is I've recently just got the vibe from a couple of people that some people have been hesitant to reach out because they don't know how to be on the show. And do we select and choose? We don't. We really don't. It's been kind of organic through the co-hosts, you know, whoever they knew or whoever wanted to be on the show. So please feel free to reach out to us, big, small, whatever. We are happy to showcase everybody on the show. We're all about everything about the North Fork. So we don't have a selection criteria, and don't be offended if we haven't reached out to you. It's not that you're not on our radar. It's just that we're already 6 months out into who we are contacting. So just please, if you think of us, reach out to us and we'll get you on the schedule. And we can.
Well, and I think it bears mentioning to piggyback on what Sunita was saying is that at the beginning it was people that we personally knew because nobody knew what NOFO Live was, and we were like,
did we even have the word NOFO Live, or we just were three? No, you must have at some point before it started.
I did. Because I got the Instagram account months before we started using it.
But we were just doing it as three co-hosts. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. But you know, they're the bigger, well-known businesses. We didn't know them personally, so we didn't feel comfortable going to them and asking them. And as Sunita said, you know, it kind of went from us not knowing who to ask to all of a sudden now everyone's coming to us, which is amazing, and we're so excited about that. But because if we haven't asked you to be on the show, it's simply because we, you know, leapt over to that place where people are asking us. So everyone is welcome. As long as you have a tie to the North Fork, that, like Susie said, that is the one criteria, that you must either have a business on the North Fork, you vacation on the North Fork, you love the North Fork, like something to do with the North Fork. And then you are welcome to send an Instagram message to us at NOFO Live, and we will send you some available dates to be on the show.
I'm just smiling to myself internally because I think we've had 80 guests over the last 2 years. None of the 80 guests knew that there was going to be any sort of follow-up or this part, which, you know, now I'm hoping, right, Tracy, that you and I can pull this off annually. In fact, 2, maybe 3 people have reached out to me that they don't want to wait for an entire year for a NOFO Live party, and that you and the North Fork Affair needs to do something before before the next year's annual party. But
Yeah.
I know of one person, and she knows who she is going to make sure she's on the show, so she's on next year's party list. So she wants to come to the party, so she's going to be on the show. I'm like, you're welcome. Come on down.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just say that Alyssa says she might have an intern for us, so I'm super excited.
Yay, yes, we can do more than one, please. There's a lot of stuff going on because one of the things we've talked about wanting to do is we love the 30-minute chat in the morning and showcasing the guests, but we really would like to go NOFO Live on location and interact with the guests and see their place of business. And so many of you offer such great experiences that you offer for us to come enjoy. We just don't have the bandwidth to be able to do all that. But as we grow our NOFO Live crew, stay tuned. I'm talking.
Well, and more importantly, the party's the perfect example. Sunita and I were so busy engaging with our guests that we didn't really take any pictures, we didn't take any video, and we really should have had someone there, our intern, taking video and capturing things so that we could have content for later.
But I know what you mean. So you mean more specifically for the NOFO Live. Like we one of our thoughts was we need to go live. So I ended up going live almost close towards the end. But that, yes, we're working on it. This is not a polished show. I don't know if we'll get there, but work in progress. All right.
Yeah,
I have to skip the 5 Live for another time.
All right.
Because I know you have life and you have Tilly and swim and whatever. But thank you so much for, I know I didn't get a chance to say this that evening because it was just so overwhelming and everything, but thank you for being my ride and die. It's been amazing having you on this journey since day one. Loved having the co-hosts, and it was great as 3, and we would love to have, obviously, the 2 co-hosts that we had, Kelly and Lauren, are welcome back anytime as guest co-hosts. But I think for now, our plan is to be the 2 co-hosts, and we would welcome anybody that is interested in guest co-hosting once in a while to DM us, come on the show, come chat with us, have fun. We're not looking for a permanent co-host.
We have to figure out,
but we're welcoming guest co-hosts for whoever wants to come and be part of the fun.
We have to figure out who's Thelma and who's Louise. I don't know which one of us
who makes the crazy idea? Who comes up with the crazy ideas? No, I know that's me, but who's that? Is that Thelma or is that Louise? You execute all
I don't know. That's why I gotta watch the movie again. Whoever decided to drive over the cliff, that's you.
Passenger seat, and then you sit in the passenger seat. Go left. That's where the fun is. Well, thank you, my friend, and thank you everybody who tunes in every week. And I think I don't even remember who the guest is next week, but we'll post a story soon. I think it's Ursula, but I want to make sure she is still going to be on the show. We'll find out. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next Friday. Bye.
Happy Friday.